All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. What is good? What is good? What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, you know who I be. Yours truly, the good doc, Dr. Mike TV, back again. Once again, instant classic in the making. Ladies and gentlemen, sincerely blessed and truly grateful to be amongst you guys tonight. You know, it's been a while. Your boy's trying to get back into the live stream thing, man, but I hope that y'all come through. Hopefully y'all come through and definitely get the likes up and show some love to the good doc. All right, so I want to give everybody a fair chance to come through so that they can enjoy this one in its entirety. But for those that choose to watch this in a playback moment, by all means, you make sure you also get the likes up. If you're new to the channel, you can subscribe, notify, do all the good things to make yourself well versed in the good docs content. All of my information should be listed in the links in the description area below. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't wish to mince words, don't wish to waste time. I would have wanted to have a lot more people in before I start so that people can catch it from the beginning. But you know what, baby? It is what it is. They just gonna have to catch it in the middle. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have been struggling with this question all day. All right, I have been struggling with the question that you see before you all day. But in fairness, I must go back to where it all began. All right, I think it might have been probably when I was about 2 or 3 years old and I was fresh out the womb and shit. And one thing that my mother used to tell me though, like as I got older, like my mom used to tell me this all the time. She's like, you had a thing for like, the female anatomy. You had a thing for like breast and shit, right? No cap. That's what she told me. Like she keeps telling me this. Like, even growing up, that used to be a thing because we used to have this neighbor, right? And ironically, and I never remember this, of course, I was a kid. How was I supposed to remember this? But we had a neighbor. She just happened to be Filipina, but she just happened to be very, very well equipped, apparently, right? And so my mom used to tell me that whenever my neighbor used to hold me, I used to always like place my hands strategically where they used to be. All right. Shout out to my brother Jay Black American Expat. What's good with you, Terry Airways? I see you, family. So as I was like 2 or 3 years old, like my neighbor used to love to, carry me for some reason. I used to like strategically place my hands in different areas. So I kind of felt like I used to be into cougars even like before I even knew that I was into like older women, more specifically older Asian women. Even though my young lady is younger than me, I don't know what it is. Maybe Doc just got a thing for older women. I don't know, man. Don't know. But today was the day that it kind of reiterated the point that I'm trying to make in this particular live stream. All right, so I was at work, right? And so at my second job, as you guys know, I do inventory management at a dollar store. So every now and again, you'll see me, run the register and like count shit like that, right? So in the state of North Carolina, or at least at this particular store, it is mandatory that we check IDs for alcohol, and it's mandatory for us to check IDs for cigarettes. I don't care if you look like you're fucking 100 years of age. We have got to check your ID. All right. So it was much less to my brother Robert Morris. I see you guys. Y'all make sure y'all get the likes up. So it's mandatory that we check IDs. So there was this one Asian lady in my line, right? So I'm ringing up and helping some people out before she came to me, and I think she wanted a pack of like Misties. You know Misties, the cigarettes. Like nobody fucking smokes Misties here in North Carolina. It's all about Newports. It's Newports or nothing at all. And ironically, Newports, the company who makes Newports, is located in North Carolina. But that's neither here nor there. I got to look for that stock, by the way. That's just a side note. So she ordered Misty's, and I asked to see her ID, right? And when I looked at her ID, the only thing I look at is the date, like her birthday, like the year she's born. I don't really care for the date. Sometimes they'd be like, yo, you got to check the expiration date, make sure it's like expired, not expired or anything. So I look at the picture, make sure the picture is the lady, and she didn't have a mask on, and I think that's something we could talk about later. But she didn't have a mask on, so I looked at her face, made sure the face matched the ID. Then I looked at the age, and what I realized is baby girl in my store looking like she younger than me, but she like 49. She damn near 50 years old. I forgot the year, but you do the math on that. Yo, Jam, much love to you, pimpin'. $1.25 towards a cheap stock. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna buy some naked. That's $1.50 right now. Appreciate you pimping. But why is it called naked? Let me get back to business. Anyways, so um I was in the line, right? Like I told you guys, and I had to look at her ID. Baby girl over here looking like she younger than me, but in hindsight, she like close to 50. And I was like, God damn. I said there was no way in this world that if you would have asked me that this chick was 50, or if you would have told me that she was 49 about to push 50, that I would even fucking believe it. Okay? I wouldn't even believe it. And you want to know why I wouldn't believe it? Because this woman did not look her age. Now, you're going to come across a lot of women that may not look their age, but I do have to ask this question because it's happened to me more than once, and I've talked about this more than once. But do you guys believe, and you can say yes, no, or maybe, it's up to you, in the chat, guys, do you believe that Asian women hit the wall at the same rate as any other women? Now, let me make sure that I am 100% abundantly clear in what I am asking you guys. I want to make sure that I am 100% abundantly clear about what I mean when I say what I say. I am not under any circumstances saying that Asian women do not hit the wall. I mean, we all know that if you shout out to my big brother O'Shea and anybody else who's talked about hitting the wall, we all know that damn near every woman on planet Earth hits the wall. Where you get to that point where you're no longer considered to be, not necessarily unattractive, but you get to that point where you're not as chaste or as what do you call it, pursued as you once were back in the day. Now, I know that when I say Asian women, it's a very, very broad statement. So you can pick and choose whatever you want. Because even the older lady, younger lady that I saw on the line today, she could have been Korean, she could have been Japanese, she could have been Chinese. I can tell if you're Filipina or not. So she was one, and she had to be one of them. She could have been Vietnamese, she could have been Cambodian. I'm not sure, so I'm not going to sit there and tell you what her race particularly was. And yes, when we speak about Asian in general, it is a very, very general topic, but I've kind of learned over time, through my personal experiences and, looking at how women of a certain age, and I don't know why this even really is something I even looked into, but it's just something that I've been recollecting and reflecting on for the last few hours before I made this live stream. But, all of the older women in certain groups, and we're just gonna lump them, and I know we shouldn't generalize, I know, but all of them, I've noticed that out of all the women that I've seen, I noticed that women in Asia seem to just age a little bit differently. In my opinion, they just age a little bit differently than women that I've seen in any other parts of the world. Now, before we get into it, guys, I understand we can break down the statistics, we can break down the analytics and all of the variables. We could say, a baby girl had a hard knock life, if she was heavy on the drugs or any type of drinking or smoking cigarettes. Yes, that does age women a little bit differently. Your health and your lifestyle, what you choose to eat, that definitely plays a part in how you age and whether you age well or you age like something else. But I can honestly say in the Philippines, you may not have that same sentiment. Okay? In the Philippines, I can honestly say that you may not believe that some women in that particular culture age well. Now, taking into consideration, if you think about the foods that they choose to eat, diets and things like that, some do, some don't. I believe that diet really does play more than a major part in how women age, more specifically Asian women. I've been to Japan. You guys know what Japan is like. Their food choices are a little bit different. Okay, this is what I've noticed, and I'm just gonna throw this out there. I mean, if you've ever been to Japan or you've ever seen any type of like Japanese video, cooking video, food video, you notice that the portion sizes in Japan are super small. Like they eat sushi, and sushi is a meal. Dude, sushi is like a snack for most people. But what I've noticed is like their food choices are a little bit different. A lot of fresh foods, a lot of fresh vegetables, fresh fish, things of that nature. So the consumption, the foods that they eat over there are a little bit different than the fried, dyed, laid to the side type of meals you might find in the Philippines. You know, the greasy shit. I mean, the good shit. Even in the black culture, we know how that shit go. Um, but in its reality, guys, I've just kind of felt that if we look at Asian women as a collective, I know we can sit there and pick apart different women from different groups, but what I've seen is that for the majority of the from the majority of the women that I take note of, I've noticed that they just seem to age a little bit differently, and maybe, just maybe, they delay their hitting of the wall just a little bit longer than women from any other culture. Like I said, guys, I will never say that they do not hit the wall. But what I will say is that they kind of delay it. And how they delay it, Owen, shout out to you, Pimpin. You say that the Fountain of Youth is in Asia, or you believe that it could be. And for some reason, I kind of feel like that could be a potential reason why, because, hey, we can look at ourselves in the black community, man. Black don't crack. I mean, I'll be a buck and a half with you, man. People still think I'm like 13. And I know that sounds weird as fuck, but it's hard for them to believe from time to time that I am the age that I am. You know, I'm pretty sure you guys have probably been mistaken for something other than your age too. And you can be honest. You know, it is what it is. But in hindsight, I just want to get to the dialogue, guys. I want to be able to share in the dialogue with you guys about whether you believe that Asian women hit the wall at the same rate as any other women. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about women in the Western world, you know, and things of that nature. From what you've seen, this is all based on opinion, guys. Nothing statistical and nothing factual. We're just having a little bit of fun tonight. Definitely here to dialogue. Terry Edwards, I agree 100%, man. The wall is undefeated, which is why I will never say that a woman would never hit the wall, because the wall is 100% undefeated. You know what I'm saying? You can't beat it. Like I said, shout out to my brother Jay. Much love, man. Appreciate the support, pimping. Shout out to my brother Robert. I see you, pimp. Family. Owens, much love to you, family. So Jay, you're right. It does depend on what kind of Asian women, because different Asian women definitely age differently. If you lump Filipinas in with Asian women, you can say that's hit and miss for me. I can honestly say that is hit and miss. All right. You say I think Chinese and Korean women age badly, but Filipinas age the best. I only say what I say based on diets that I've seen with most Filipinas. They this is all, see, well, how can we say this, because it's, I think in every culture is hit and miss, but if we look at the collective, you're probably right. Filipinas probably don't age as bad as others, but sometimes you just sometimes when them babies hit and, you know, all of the above become the objective reality for most of them, you can go out on the limb and say it all depends on the person. Thai women, they do age well. Now that I do agree with, because trust me, I found myself attracted to a bunch of them too. Oh man, oh my god, why is my screen ain't scrolling down, guys? I'm sorry. I don't know. It looks like my shit want to act up now. But anyways, I can still see it on the screen, so I might not be able to show any comments on my phone right now, but I can still see it on the screen. The women in poor areas who eat a lot of salty and dry fish and poor quality food make them age badly. That's what it is. Whatever is available to them as a food choice, 100%. And those Filipino women always winning in the Miss Universe. That is something we cannot get over. That right there is something that I was definitely going to hint at, because I did do a video about that. And I think that what most people argue about against that particular narrative, the only thing that people argue about is they be like, oh, well, most of the Miss Philippines or the Miss Universes, they're all like mixed, you know, they're you know, American, or they're British and Filipino or some shit like that. And to my personal opinion, that don't really mean shit, because I think really we could go back and y'all can fact check me on this. Fact check the doc on this one. But every Miss Universe for at least the last 5 years, I think a Filipina has made it to the top 5. every year for the last 5 years, with two of them actually winning, of course. But I think every year, at least for the last 5 years, Filipinas have made it to the top five. Y'all can fact check me on it, and I appreciate you doing so. But for sure, shout out to my brother Izon. I see you, family. But the thing about Filipinas, man, like I said, depending on how you look at them, depending on how you view aging and what you find to be attractive and unattractive and things of that nature, if I had to compare them to the women in our own cultural background, not, I mean, more so westernized women, that's what I mean by cultural background, I would have to say that they're definitely outdoing that shit and easy. They are beating women in the West with ease. Now again, that could be to a multitude of different reasons. The access to the foods that we do have in the United States is definitely applicable in a situation like this. Jay, you said it. Yeah, at least in the last 5 years, at least the last 5 or 6 years that a Miss Universe has happened, Filipinas have placed in the top five. Now, I may mess up some names, but we already know that Pia Wurtzbach, winner, Catriona Gray, winner. There was Shamsi Soup Soup, Venus Raj, and I forget the other girl. I know her because she was an engineer or something in the Mindanao region. I just forgot her name. So it was Shamsi Soup Soup. I know I might fuck the name up. Venus Raj, Catriona Gray, Pia Wurtzbach, and then there was one more that was placed in the. I think she was second place. I think she might have got second place. I just forgot her name. So I want y'all to understand, man. If we talk about how women age, we have to be a buck and a half, and we have to be honest with ourselves. I do believe that Asian women hit the wall at a different rate than women in our own home countries, and if you want to go out on a limb, like I said, man, there are a bunch of variables that are included, diets and things like that. If they do come from, like my man Jay said, in the poor areas, you're gonna come across some that are, their diets and what they choose to eat and what they're choosing to live off of and survive off of is definitely not complementary to the lifestyle that you would think that somebody would want to live that would age well, for sure. The ones that do bleach their skins, in my opinion, do hurt themselves as well. And I've seen a lot of girls like try to put on that white makeup, but their skin tone don't match, and that shit just be looking rough. Like, like when they're like, I've seen plenty of Filipinas get married. The Morena skin Filipinas, when they get married, they kind of, I don't know what it is about the lightening of the makeup, but the makeup just doesn't match. And they do kind of believe that the bleaching of the skin is probably age defying, or it might have some age defying ingredients that, how can I say this, that these companies try to sell most of these Filipinas on, and make them feel like, oh, if you use this, or you bleach your skin, or you get these collagen injections, or you get these whitening injections from Vicky Bello. Everybody know about Vicky Bello. If you are in the Philippines, everybody knows about Vicky Bello. Hold on, yo, if you don't know who Vicky Bello is, Google a picture of this chick here. Oh my god. Hey, yo, press one if you've ever seen what Vicky Bello look like. Yo, keep it a buck and a half. If you haven't, Google search that chick right now. Look at that face right there, boy. That is a face that only a real man can love, I guess. Shout out to my man 010. I will be honest, Filipinos look younger in their teens and early 20s, but can look older than their ages after 30. Seen some Filipinos in their 40s who looked to be in their 60s. Like I said, I think that does have a lot to do with diet, and we could say that about any cultural background, guys. It could be the way they eat, the way they carry themselves. But I'm telling you, man, I've seen them. Yeah, I've seen the reverse effect, man. Chicks be old as hell, bro, but they be looking young as shit. Like the girl in the line, like I said, I wouldn't have put her at more than 30. She was damn near 50. You know what I'm saying? And that's just, hey, man, I got to go back to what my man Earl Owen said, man, fountain of youth. fountain of youth, ladies and gentlemen, and we have got to let that rock, and we've definitely got to let that ride. But yo, tell me if y'all seen Vicky Bello. Yo, did y'all Google a picture of Vicky Bello? Come on, man. I need y'all to see Vicky Bello. Cause that face right there, that's the face of like cosmetic surgery and what not cosmetic surgery. Yeah, cosmetic surgery, beauty, age defying, beauty whitening. I'm telling you right now, if that chick comes near my girl with anything, me and her gonna have to fight. Okay. See, it's not a good look. Like, it's just not a good look to do things like that to your skin because it does age you. It ages you a whole lot more than anyone ever could. And if they do have a good healthy habit like going to the gym, 100% that helps too. Shit, sweating and getting it in, man. Hey, you already know what the other type of you already know the other type of activities they can partake in that could also lead to age defying greatness. There's another rare there's another rare precious liquid out there in the market that I've heard that only men can produce that I know of that can definitely help smooth the age of the skin as well. Press one if you know what that is. I think hey, I can't go there. Let me just stop. Yeah, definitely that activity right there definitely keeps them in check. You know what it is, man. I'm gonna leave it up there briefly so they can see it, and we're gonna take it off. But yeah, outside of but also like I said, there's another I want to call it a liquidy substances. Yo, Robert, come on, fam. Don't be playing coy on me, man. You got a wrench for a reason, man. Yo, they be rubbing that shit in, Pimpin'. Don't be playing with me. Yo, I swear you. Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story. Because I didn't know this, right? I didn't know this at the time. But let me tell you a story. I hope the me when they listen. And if she is, I love you. You know better than that. Anyways, there, there was this one chick. There was this one chick, right? And I didn't know that she believed that this was actually true, that this particular liquid is good for age defying. So she was like, yo, I swear to God, everything I love. She was like, make sure you get it on my face. And I was like, what? I was like, what you mean? She's like, yo, just make sure you get it on my face. She said, make sure you get it on my face. I said, okay. And I promise you this. I succeeded. We'll just go that far. And she rubbed that shit in like it was lotion, bruh. She rubbed that shit in like it was lotion. Oh my god, I was like pimping. I said this shit for real, and I was like, and at first, like I said, I had no idea why she made this request. Again, this was my younger days before I knew of the age-defying ingredient that was in this particular thing that only we can provide. Big love to us, ladies and gentlemen. Big love to all of my people out there who can produce right now. If your count ain't as high as it used to be, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, you can still get it in. But I'm telling you, I didn't know what it was until she told me. I was like, what you do that for? Because I'm sitting there watching her. Can you imagine the look on my face? When you know what happens, right? I don't know about y'all, but y'all know what happens, right? When you finish, right? You just get all weak kneed and shit. You tired, like you just felt like you just got this big relief of pressure off of you or something. Like, the world is just at peace now, and the world is all right again. Once you let it go, remember we talked about post nut clarity. That video doesn't exist anymore, but we had that moment. But like I'm sitting there just like literally I let it all hang out. You know what I'm saying? And she's just sitting there rubbing the shit all in. I'm like, I said, bitch, what you doing? Like I'm thinking to myself, what the hell is she doing? I was like, what is this? And she was like, oh. She was like, yeah, that shit good for your skin. I said, first of all, I'm thinking about who else has donated to this cause because that is not the first time she could have done this shit. This is not the first time she could have done this shit. But hey, man, we learn something new every day, man. The more you know, man. You remember the reading rainbows little thing you come things say the more you know. I had a the more you know moment, man. Ah, man. Good times, though. But we live and we learn, ladies and gentlemen. So, with all of these age defying techniques that a lot of women are willing to partake in order to see to it that they hold on to whatever youth they have, by all means, ladies and gentlemen, hey, if she wants to do it, man, I think it is your right as a man to contribute to that cause. It is your right as a citizen of the world. It is your right as a foreigner to donate to that cause. Okay, don't you ever forget that. My man says he's got to tell it it's good for the digestion. It has 0 calories. Robert, they're sold, ladies and gentlemen. I bet you right there it'll sell them all day long and tell them it might be a little salty, so I've heard, but I promise you, it definitely works. But again, this is the Dr. Mike TV channel, ladies and gentlemen, and you'll never know what's going to come into my mind or what's going to come out my mouth. And if you're enjoying this content, ladies and gentlemen, y'all make sure, at the very least, y'all get the likes up, man. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe, notify, do all the good things, make up well versus the good dice content. Guys, make sure you get the likes up. You know the rules. Caress, molest, de-stress yourself all over that like button. It wants it. It needs it. Most definitely has to have it. You guys want to support the channel, please feel free to do so. But of course, I am happy and blessed you choose come through. Spend a little bit of time with your boy today. Now you're then. I do see a lot of talk about dentists in the chat tonight, and that is true. Philip, I mean, there was a girl that actually cried because she was just dying to get her teeth fixed. So, I mean, like I said, man, it is what it is. Oh man, but yeah, man, the more we know, man, we gotta learn. We've got to learn. So that's been my little tidbit of information for today about that one. But interestingly enough, man, I'm definitely here to hear what you guys got to say. So I am reading off comments in the chat. Y'all make sure y'all participate. 16 in the building. Y'all know the oh, shout out to my man Dave Chappelle, bro. Skeet, 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 skeet. Y'all know what it is, man. I shouldn't even have to tell you. It's the truth, man. That yo, I'm gonna be real with you, man. I'm really starting to learn. No cap. This is no joke, man. I'm really starting to learn the effects of that shit for women, yo, and why we shouldn't be just giving that shit to anybody. Shout out to my brother Raphael Williams. Much love to you, man. Bro, you always be hitting me with some bullshit, but I love you, man. Appreciate the love, man. Appreciate the support. It's been a minute, man. I ain't seen you in, but you know, Doc ain't been live either, so I'm guilty as hell. But yeah, man, shout out to the homie Dave Chappelle, man. But dude, only recently did I start to understand the benefits that this particular thing that only us men produce actually have for these women. Like, it's starting to kill me, like what they be using it for. And I'm like, well, damn. I said, shit, and we're over here giving this shit away for free. And we over here giving this shit away for free. Just think about that for a second. Think about that for a second. We over here giving away the shit for free 99.9% of the time. And that thing got some hella health benefits, man. But like I said, man, the more we know, the more we know. My man Robert said no teeth is a good thing. I didn't even mean to click on that, but Lord, we not gonna get into that. But yeah, the here's the weird thing, and I wanted to make a video about this one, but I'm gonna go ahead and drop it a little bit right here. Because this is an interesting thing about Filipinas, and you'll notice this. Jay, you brought up the point 010. You guys were bringing up the points. Filipinas, you know, for the most part, some of them do have relatively bad teeth, and it has really nothing to do, in my opinion, with their hygiene. Because you notice, if you've ever been to the Philippines, I don't care if this girl comes from the poorest of the poor communities, she gonna wash her ass. Okay, now if she's poor and like you might see her on the street or something like that, that's a little bit different, you know. That's a little bit different. But like if she has a place to go, like a home to go to where there is running water, or she can go to a well and get water herself, that chick will wash her ass. Okay, so it has absolutely nothing to do with Philippine hygiene, why these women may have particularly bad teeth to an extent. Now, again, I saw the conversations you guys had, very, very good dialogue. It could be the water because the water is not treated. Jay, you said it. But yeah, man, it has nothing to do with hygiene. So I do realize, and I have noticed that a lot of women seem to be very, very conscious about their teeth. Like, if you've ever been around a Filipina that really doesn't have confidence in her smile, maybe because of certain reasons like that, guess what? She covers her mouth a lot when she laughs, right? You'll see her like ha 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 ha, and she'll like have her hand over her mouth because she doesn't want you to see that. You can't really enjoy, a conversation with her because she's always covering her mouth. Some of y'all might think she got bad breath, but sometimes it's not the truth, man. It's just that overall, if we're thinking about it, it's just that they just aren't satisfied and confident with their smile. So rather than anything else, most of the time they will ask for help in treating, their teeth and things like that. So, it is what it is. And yeah, it does not help that they do like to eat sweets too. That doesn't help at all. Um, but if you think about brushing their teeth and the water they're brushing their teeth with, yeah, the spaghetti is sweet as hell. If you think about all of that inclusive, guys, yeah, you're definitely gonna come across some issues from time to time. Eyes on you say what now, Pimpy? He said, I'm not gonna lie, when I first started my YouTube channel, I thought you and Bobby D was the same person using different character roles. Yo, big love to Bobby D, man. Shout out to Bobby D, bro. We kind of do look alike though. Two African American bald men with glasses. Damn. we out here looking alike, but much love to the brother, man, for sure. It is true though. Filipinas, like with Balik Bayan boxes and stuff like that, they do make requests for things like that. Chocolates and types of foods, a lot of sweets and stuff like that. They do make requests for that. So, that's definitely something that can play in to why they do have bad teeth as well. Or why, and like I said, I really don't believe it has anything to do with their hygiene, but more so with the idea of the foods that they choose to eat and how they choose to brush their teeth, and sometimes the water that they have access to that they use to brush their teeth with, which can lead to what? Them not looking the age that they are, and also somebody mentioned something about some some gum jobs and shit, and I'm just gonna go ahead and let that conversation slide because I was a little bit late to the party on that. I Yeah, I mean, I've actually never really. If I mean, I've never really actually read the ingredients on the back of like the toothpaste in the Philippines, but let's keep it a buck and a half. They probably do be throwing some shit in their toothpaste, man. They probably do be throwing some shit in their toothpaste that we don't know. Y'all know how they be having some extras, man, that we may not be familiar with. Japanese girls, some of them might have some messed up girls. Earl Owens, I can see that. I could definitely see how you could come to that conclusion for sure, for sure. But and I think that's pretty much almost every group that may have women that may have some very questionable, and sometimes just the grill itself, not so much like maybe the cavities or the rotting. It's just like the crowding. I think one of the experiences that I've seen is women that have like a lot of crowding, so it look like they teeth on top of each other more so than like decaying or anything like that, man. Ain't nothing worse than some damn fucking sweet spaghetti. Y'all know better than that. They do. Hey, Jay, they got partials and they got bridges. A lot of them do. So if you ever see a Filipino with an absolute perfect smile and there are of a older age, I think most of that is partials and bridges. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Because I have noticed that too. Yeah, they're either partials or they got their bridge done. But them shits come out. Please believe them shits come out. I ain't gonna go no further, but them shits come out. In Japanese, crooked teeth are oddly seen as preferable, even with celebrities. Well, you know what? I'm gonna have to. look into that because I haven't really paid attention to a lot of like Japanese celebrities and stuff like that. So I mean, if you're talking, never mind. I'm not even gonna say that shit out loud. But yeah, hey man, 12 in the building, man. Y'all make sure I get the likes up for sure. Um, hey man, there's a lot of charcoal and toothpaste here in the United States as well. Apparently it's used for teeth whitening or it's used to help whiten teeth or something to that effect. There's a lot of that in like toothpaste that we sell where I work at. Yeah, there's a lot of that there too. So everything damn near got charcoal in it. The toothpaste, sometimes the bristles on the toothbrush. Apparently, there's some hidden secret to helping your teeth get white for sure. And yeah, Filipinos, man, they be finding ways to get them some braces, boy. They do. You'd be like, I don't know how you could afford it. Because braces be expensive. I want y'all to understand, Doc had braces and I had braces in the Philippines. So I know how much braces normally cost. Now, did I get the 400 charge? I don't know. My stepmom's Filipina, so I would hope that she haggled some really good price for me. And I did go to a reputable dentist. I didn't just go to somebody's backyard and have them put some wires and shit on my teeth. So maybe that's why mine's was as expensive as it was. But I tell you right now, I think we spent 36,000 pesos, close to about $600 in for me to get braces. Now that I that was just over a monthly fee for 36 months. I used to pay 1,000 a month every time I came in for a cleaning, and that was it. But yeah, braces are not cheap if you go to the right place, but you can see a lot of people that you may not think can afford to have braces actually have braces. And they be or if it's not the braces, guys, it's that retainer piece. Some of them do have that retaining piece for sure. Oh, they do be cleaning the shit out your teeth for $10 though. Yeah, I've been to if you go to the right dentist, they do be cleaning the shit out your teeth. I mean, they be digging the hell into your shit. Yeah, you're right though. You said about 500 pesos. Like my friend in the Philippines in Davao is a dentist, and yeah, they clean the hell out of your teeth, man. They do. So I do think that if you ever do find yourself in the Philippines and you need to get some type of dental work done, that is probably one of very few places that I would recommend people actually get work done. Now, again, do your research. Don't just go to somebody's back alley dentist or some shit. Go to places, price it up, price around, see what you're going to pay, and get it in. But dentistry is a very popular field in the Philippines because, guys, as you already know, a lot of them, like you said, they do have a lot of teeth problems, man. Root canals and crown for about 40. Yeah, that's about accurate. You go to the right place, you know the right people, you can really get a lot of work done as opposed to the thousands that you'll spend here in the United States. Now, the Smile Direct Club, that's a little different. That's something the Philippines doesn't have where you can actually get your teeth aligned through shit that they send you in the mail. That's a little different. Do I think it works? I don't know, man. I don't know. But hey, if it's worth it to try, go ahead and knock it out. They say it's like, how much is it per month for the Smile Direct Club? I can't even remember. My man Earl Owens said, "You see a pretty face, but when they smile, they look like Baraka from Mortal Kombat, bruh." Bro, you fucked up. But they do be making them faces, kid. You ain't never lied. That shit do be scared the hell out of you. Hey, don't yeah. Hey, you find the right one to make them smile, my dude. They might scare the hell out of you. So that's facts for sure, for sure. But guys, like I said, I didn't want to be on very long. I just wanted to politic a dialogue with y'all for a minute about the Philippines. And do you feel, in your honest opinion, that Asian women hit the wall at the same rate as women in other countries? Do you feel they hit it a little bit later? Of course, we already know they're all gonna hit it eventually, but I just kind of came to the conclusion that, from my personal experience, I do believe that they are a bit delayed in their hitting of the wall. Not saying that they won't hit it, because we already know, like my man Terry Edwards says, the wall is undefeated. My man Jada Black says that a lot. Also, what's my man? My brother O'Shea Duke Jackson. He says that shit a lot too in his videos. But yeah, for sure, man, for sure. My man Sleeper, what's good with you, pimping? Appreciate you coming through, showing some love to your boy Doc, man. I just had to get this quick one out the way. Hope that you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, y'all make sure y'all drop the likes on, man. Unless y'all got anything else y'all want to say, Doc is good to go. I didn't want to be on very long. I just wanted to politic with y'all for about a quick 30. We've been on for about 40 minutes, long enough. Once you hit that hour mark, y'all, that's when we start getting tired. We can't do 2 hour live streams like we used to, hour and 30 minute live streams. Because then you just be talking and people be like, man, this dude just don't know how to shut the fuck up. All right, so we keep them nice and short, hour long at max. But I appreciate y'all coming through, man. I appreciate y'all showing love. And if you did, enjoy the video, guys. By all means, I'm sorry, the live stream. If you did enjoy the live stream, y'all make sure y'all leave a like on the way in and on the way out. Facts. You got to be careful with them provincial dentists, bro. That motherfucker be having stray dogs in the same room where you getting your teeth done, and you be like, "Is this sanitary in here?" Because sanitation is bar none one of the scariest things that I will talk about with y'all when it comes to the Philippines, and I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Y'all got to be very careful about the places you choose to get work done because a lot of these places are not sanitary. You got to go to some reputable establishments. I'm not talking about somebody doctor office that your friend of a friend recommended to you and they just doing that shit out their house. you know let's keep it real. Like I said, man, you could just ask around, go to the malls. There's always a dentist office in the mall. You'll know a clean facility when you see one, trust me. Look at the workers. It always starts with the workers and the assistants. You look at how the assistants conduct themselves. If they're dressed appropriately, you see them washing their hands like they supposed to. And now with everything going on with the COVID and all of that shit, you got to make sure you stay on top of the sanitation game. Like I said, whether you agree or disagree with it, whether you believe it's real or not, sanitation, regardless, is something that you need to take into account. All right, so let's make sure that we do not just go to a place because it's cheap. All right. My man said the rap was on top of the TV. Hey, that bitch was looking at you, yo. He was waiting for that doctor, for that dentist to go in your mouth so he could drop a surprise, bro. Hey, the locals could be cool with it, but yeah, you can miss me with that one. I wouldn't. Mm-mm. But it is what it is, pimping. It is what it is. All right, y'all. Y'all been a hell of a good audience, man. Make sure y'all get the likes up on the way out, man. All right. With that being said, man, your boy Doc is officially out. At least knuckle. Which means I'm about to go now. Bye bye. As always,